A question I've received commonly over the years is how do you know if your supplements are quality? Or really the better question is, aren't all supplements the same? Like, how do you know if there's a good company? And so the answer to that, actually, I published a video over ten years ago now on that question, as you can see here on my YouTube channel. It was published 10 years ago. Not too many views on this one, but it's been there for 10 years. And what I did in this video is I talk about how an independent study was done where supplements were bought from GNC and Walmart and Target and Walgreens to look at the quality and see is what's in the label actually in the bottle. And what they found is that no, those supplements were not providing what they claimed to provide. And what was instead in the bottle was things like dirt, plant material, inert things or ingredients that you would need to detox, which becomes a net negative, and in some cases, toxins. So, we've said before, the most expensive supplement in the world is one that doesn't work. So you may be able to go to Walmart and buy 1,000 capsule fish oil, but if it's complete for $4.99, if it's complete trash though, you actually lost the money and you actually have to detoxify the contents of it. So you're better off paying, more money for something that's actually going to help you be healthier. So that was 10 years ago. 2015, that study was done. What about more recently? Well, this weekend I came across a thread on Twitter that was looking at the same thing. And so I don't know this guy, but the thread is great. At Fit Founder is the guy who posted it here. So thank you to him for putting this up. And you can see here he posts a picture of two bottles of what appear to be supplements by the company Thorne, which is a good company. But one is real here and one is fake. And it would be hard for us to be able to tell the difference between the real and the fake one when we're buying them online. The quality supplement brands, the practitioner only brands like Thorne and Biotics and Apex, there's a bunch of them. They shouldn't be able to be found on Amazon. So the first sign that it's fake is if it's on Amazon at all. So you don't want to buy practitioner only brands on Amazon because they're probably fake. This post and thread is going to tell you probably don't want to buy any supplements off of Amazon. Why? Well, glad you asked. Here we go. One of the biggest problems Amazon has is counterfeit products, specifically supplements. Increased reports of fake vitamins, protein powders, and other health products are being sold on the platform in recent years. Why is this happening? A major culprit is Amazon's commingled inventory system. This means products from different sellers, whether they're authentic or not, are pooled together in the same bins at Amazon warehouses. So that means now foods may provide a real bottle of the real quality stuff, but then, John Doe has his Amazon account and he's selling fake bottles of Now Food stuff. And Amazon's going to throw both these bottles in the same box. And so now when Jane orders a bottle thinking she's getting the quality, the Amazon worker might just grab this one out of the box and ship it to her. And so now she's got a fake one. And you might say, well, big deal. Well, I don't think anyone would say big deal because no one's going on there to buy fake stuff. But how could that hurt her beyond just her wasting money on a poor supplement? Good question. This means that if you order a supplement from Amazon, you might think you're getting it from your chosen seller. But with commingled inventory, Amazon ships whichever unit is closest, regardless of which seller provided it. Right? So that means it's not about what you ordered, it's whatever's closest to their hand or closest to you. So if you're in Charlotte and there's a whole box full of, counterfeit supplements in the Charlotte warehouse, they're going to ship from that warehouse rather than ship it to you from Texas, right? This is serious. Counterfeit supplements have been found to contain everything from harmless fillers like rice and flour, which I would argue flour isn't harmless because gluten hurts a lot of people, to containing dangerous substances, sometimes including undeclared pharmaceuticals, allergens, and heavy metals. Really? Yeah, really. Brands like Now Foods, Fungi Perfecta have discovered multiple counterfeit versions sold on Amazon, sometimes by dozens of different storefronts. Some fakes even tested positive for drugs like Viagra. So you think you're ordering, a fungal supplement like lion's mane to help you with focus, and you end up taking Viagra. That's not what you signed up for. For us consumers, this means that you can't always trust the label or the seller rating when you see it on Amazon. Even products that say sold by Amazon can be affected due to the commingled inventory strategy. To fight this, Amazon has introduced product programs like Project Zero and product serialization to help brands fight counterfeits. Sellers can opt out of commingled inventory by using Amazon specific barcodes, but many products are still at risk. The best way to get around this, and that's what I agree with, is buy directly from the seller, right? So the only way you can know for sure that you're getting the legit product from the legit company is to buy direct from the company or buy from doctors who are selling it direct from the company. So the practitioner only brands, you should be buying from a practitioner or direct from that practitioner only brand's website. Until Amazon fully addresses the risk of commingled inventory, counterfeit supplements will always remain a threat. Always check for third-party testing and be wary of deals that seem to be too good to be true. So here's the thing, the third-party testing, I would say, doesn't necessarily take you out of the woods because all of the practitioner-only brands do third-party testing. But if their products are in the commingled inventory, you don't know if you're getting the third-party tested one or the counterfeit one. And again, they shouldn't even be on Amazon. So the likelihood is that you're getting counterfeit. Again, he hates to be the bearer of bad news, but hopefully this saves you from buying Viagra instead of getting vitamin D. You know, so if you found this valuable, give him a follow. And I find it valuable. And again, this reinforces what I posted 10 years ago that this has been a problem for not a short period of time, over a decade, right? So now Amazon, and I know tons of people who order stuff off Amazon. Pretty much every patient I've seen comes to me having at least once ordered a supplement off Amazon. So we're all exposed to this. And another media outlet that covered this story was the Vigilant Fox. And so you can find the Vigilant Fox on Substack. And again, they were writing about who owns the supplements you're taking. So the Twitter feed was talking about practitioner only supplements that are counterfeit. This is a little bit different angle that Vigilant Fox is saying, well, who owns the supplements you're taking? Do you think you're buying a trusted brand? Wait until you see who's profiting. So a few years ago, the company, a lot of the quote unquote healthy supplement brands were bought by major corporations like Nestle. And so if you're taking a supplement from a brand like Pure Encapsulations, they're actually owned by Nestle. And so, you can see here, Nestle owns Pure Encapsulations, owns Garden of Life. Okay. Procter and Gamble owns New Chapter. So you think you're getting good stuff and you're buying supplements from a pharmaceutical company. Look at them all. There's so many. So Nature Made, all right, that's common in like Harris Teeter and Walmart. Okay. Otsuka owns them. It's a mega corporation. Pfizer owns Centrum and Emergency. Well, Centrum is trash. So no one ever thought Centrum was good anyway. We've covered that many times on this channel. Centrum is known as bedpan bullets in the hospital because they tink off your bedpan when they come out, just as hard as when they went in. So Pfizer's maintaining their standard for poor products. What else do we see here? One a day. One a day is just like Centrum. It's trash. It's Bayer's competitor racing to the bottom to see who can be worse with Pfizer. So 14 mega corporations own many of the quote unquote health food brands or healthy supplement brands that many people take. So again, you want to question these. And this is relatively recent. This is in the last 10 years. You want to be careful of that because then what's in the supplements? Well, these are major corporations. They didn't start these supplement companies, they purchased them. So they didn't they didn't start these companies with the goal of making people healthier. They acquired these companies once the companies got to a certain dollar level, right? So the goal is to increase efficiency and income from these companies, not improve your health. So what that usually means is they're going to make the products worse. When big business took over the supplement industry, they didn't just buy the brands, they changed what's in the bottle. Today's most popular brands are often loaded with cheap synthetic additives designed not to enhance your health, but reduce cost and prolong shelf life. So as you can see, and we've covered before, if you turn Centrum around, you're going to see junk ingredients like titanium dioxide. It makes the pill look whiter, but also drives gut inflammation. You'll see trans fats, which are fillers and drive heart disease. You'll see reds and yellows and blues, and we know those are trash. You don't want to ingest those, and RFK is working hard to get rid of those. Talc, carrageenan, all these different things that have been connected to driving inflammation. And then, of course, there's the purity problem as well. And they link to an article here about, again, Amazon supplements being counterfeit. So again, as I said earlier, the most expensive vitamin in the world is one that doesn't work. Same idea here. Might be cheaper on Amazon to save you a few bucks now, but you could pay for it later when you're a female who thought they were taking magnesium and they were taking Viagra. Not a good thing to be doing. So I want to make you all aware of this as a public service announcement and also help answer a very common question. Does it matter where I get my supplements from? 100% yes, it does. Because there's companies that are in business to make people healthier, and yes, they're in business to make money, but by making people healthier, they make money because they're making better products. And then there's businesses that own supplement companies that acquired them just to make money and get as much out of them as possible, and health isn't the primary goal there. So if your primary goal is health, you want to use companies whose primary goal for you is better health, distributed by practitioners whose primary goal for you is better health. So let's open this up for questions.
So I ordered the TMG that Gary Brecka talks about, and I went through his website and used that link, but it took me to Amazon. So that could have still been not the right thing, right?
Uh, yeah, possibly. I don't know. I mean, I know of Gary Brecka and I've heard some of his stuff. I don't know him well enough to know, does he have his own store or does he sell everything through Amazon? If he sells only through Amazon, then there's really no way to know if you're getting his or some other person who's knocking him off. So again, it's best if, in my opinion, if you can get it from a company who has a website that isn't reliant on Amazon. They're big enough to have their own thing.
So I also order stuff through FullScript, which I'm sure that's fine. And what about like Thrive? I have a membership to Thrive Online too, and I get stuff from there.
Full script I can vouch for. Thrive, I don't know. Um, I don't know enough about. All I can say is based on the Twitter thread, this is Amazon specific. This article is the big corporation specific, and then the video back here was based on these big box stores specific. So again, that covers a lot of the planet in terms of where you're going to find supplements. So again, the best option would be direct from the practitioner only company websites or FullScript, which is a practitioner kind of practitioner only distributor. So you can find those practitioner only companies under one roof instead of having to start an account on 5 different practitioner only companies, different sites.
Yeah, and I'm already a part of FullScript, so maybe
Yep.
I do get some other stuff from Thrive and other places, but I think I could probably find it on FullScript if I look.
Yeah, it's worth looking. I mean, so just want to make you aware because it's been a long-term issue.
Jessica, she just had me looking. I was just looking at Thrive. It does because I've gotten some things off of Thrive too, but they do takes several measures, like the third party testing, which of course we know, but they do go through a lot of standards to make sure that what they are selling is coming directly from the manufacturers and that they're pure. So I would feel better about Thrive for sure over Amazon.
Yeah, thank
Thank you.
you. I,
Mhm.
I would as well, because Thrive, at least the company, and again, I don't know a ton about them, but their whole focus has been the health space, whereas Amazon is just everything. Um, so like you can't buy I don't think you can buy a DVD on Thrive or, a wrench on Thrive. You can do that on Amazon. So they're just slinging wares, whereas Thrive is like we're a health focused company. So they better be better than Amazon. All right. Anything else on this?
I've got one for you. So I do use that Pure Encapsulations magnesium glycinate.
Mhm.
And I have gotten it from FullScript before, but I have also gotten it from Amazon. Would you trust it if it was from FullScript, even though it's showing right there that that's a Nestle brand one? Or do you think that I just need to find like a whole new brand through FullScript of magnesium glycinate?
Yeah. So I mean, it's good. Pure is owned by Nestle, so it's Nestle. If it's the legit Pure, it's Nestle.
Okay,
If it's Amazon, it might not be legit and might not be Nestle, but who knows what it is at that
I
point.
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, you can find magnesium glycinate. There's forms from just about every company for that. So that's an easy switch. Yeah. So there's plenty of them on full script,
That's great. Okay, perfect. Thanks.
You're saying that pure encapsulation is Nestle?
owned by Nestle. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I used to like Pure a lot and used to use it a lot, but once they got acquired, I pretty much moved away from them. Once in a while, there's something I'll use from them, that I'll order direct from Pure Encapsulations. But that was before. I mean, before this was published this week, 3 days ago. So um, now that they're saying even more recently they're publishing this about that, I'll steer away from Pure, which I've already done, but Um, most of the things you'd want from Pure, there's options from the other companies. So just to be safe and make sure we're getting the bang for our buck and our clinical action, I would find the similar thing from, say, Apex Energetics or Biotics or um, Orthomolecular or one of those companies.